Welcome back to the Conservation Games. We've got another couple of special guests for us this evening. We've got two Olympians with us, Brian Dzingai, of course, the Zimbabwean sprinter from before, and Brendan Ashby also joining us. Brian, you look well and sprightly. It's an early morning for you.
Very early. It's 5 in the morning right now for me, so.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for taking part in these games. Brendan, how are you doing? Been a while?
Yeah, great. Thanks. Great to be part of this.
Just before we get started, thanks a lot, guys, for taking up your time. Of course, busy schedules, but important that you take part in these games and also contribute to conservation and the funding of conservation in the Zambezia region. Right, so we're going to get right into it at the moment. I've got the bead in my hands. Brendan, I'm going to ask you to decide right or left, mine, that is.
I'll go with your right.
You're going to go with my right. You've got it right, so you've got the choice. Are you going to be asked first or asked first?
I think I'll be asked first.
Okay, let's go. Brian, you've got the two questions that you've decided from the four?
Correct, I do. First question, Brendan. What does sick ito ad astra mean?
I thought you might start with that.
Oh, cheapers.
That's a Latin phrase, by the way, just in case you're wondering.
I believe it means reach for the stars.
It does indeed, absolutely. Good
Fantastic.
start. Brendan, 2 points for you. Next question, please, Brian.
Okay, so Don was a coach at Alabama University. How long did Don coach at the University of Alabama for?
Wasn't expecting this one now.
The laugh means that we might have some silence for a bit.
Yeah, Don was there 2000. Oh goodness, 5 years.
Okay, yeah, you're a bit off there, Brendan. It was 17 years, so there won't be any points for you there. But
Sorry. Are we talking about Don Wagner, or Don Gambrell?
Don
Gambrell.
Oh,
Oh, right, yeah, the curveball there, unfortunately.
Curveball, yeah, all right.
Yeah, curveball. 17 points. But anyway, talking about education, university and school, how important was Falcon in bringing you up as a sports person?
Yeah, look, I mean, Falcon's a phenomenal school to have gone to, and I think it sort of sets you up for life and more than just, sport. I think it's a phenomenal sporting school, by all accounts. But look, I mean, it was tough being a swimmer. In Falcon, swimming was non-existent when I was there, and it was great to be part of that sort of push to make it a swimming school. But look, I think it's the other sports will always take precedence over swimming. But look, it's a great school, as are most schools in Zim, to be honest.
A pioneer in the sense, then.
Well, I like to think so, anyway.
Right, so you got two questions from your four for Brian. You can shoot.
Okay, Brian. Let's see here. In Beijing, you ran on the right shoulder of Usain Bolt. What was your athlete number?
Boy. Wow, that's a good one. 9879. I think it started with a 9, actually. So probably 9879.
9879. No. 3317.
Wow, I had no idea.
Yeah, but I remember you saying ran a world record time at the moment. What is it like competing with the best in the world and going out there and understanding that you're going to have to pull out the best that you've got?
So I try to make sure that I enjoyed the moment, because it only lasts for that much time. Well, 20.1 seconds.
Oh,
right?
that was 200, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I try to make sure that I was in the moment and enjoyed the actual moment. And at that point in time, I was running not for me, but it was running for Zim, because this was in '08 and we were going through some very, very difficult times. And that gave the people of Zim an opportunity to take their minds off of what's going on back home and just think of something else. So, it was a heavy load, let me say.
Yeah. Well, we watched with pride anyway. Next question for us, Brendan.
Okay. Brian, in Beijing, you were the flag bearer for Zim. You won both your first and second heats on the way to the final with Bolt. What were your times in these heats?
So the first round was quicker. It was 20.23. And the second round was 20.25.
Right. You know your numbers. Very well done.
I'm a numbers guy.
2 points. I just wanted to come to the running aspect, of course. You're not the tallest. Not that it's a bad thing. But when you compete, and especially sprints, is it not an advantage to be taller? And if it is, then how have you done so well for yourself?
Listen, so I'm 5'6". Would it have helped if I was 6'9" like Mr. Ashby over here? Definitely, right?
Absolutely.
But you take what you have and you use what you have, and you have no reason to use that as an excuse for not doing well, right? So I just rolled with the punches, and so many times I would step to the line, and just because I was 5'6", people underestimated me, and that's happened like my whole life. So
it was an advantage for you.
Absolutely. It has always been Brian versus Goliath, like my whole life. Yeah. So it's something that I take and use in everything that I do, just as a challenge, just to make sure that I excel.
All right. No, that's good. Right, guys. So at the end of the first section, you both got one question right. You've got 2 points each. And we are moving on now to the conservation questions. So these are set out questions for you moving forward based on the information that you've given us. Brian, I'll start with you this time. Don Heath is your favorite conservationist. How did you get to know about him?
So Dr. Don Heath was my boarding master at Saints, probably when I was in Form 1 until about Form 4. That's
fair enough. Your favorite animal, the cheetah. Why is there speculation around the cheetah being a true cat?
Wow, that's a good question. Maybe because it's so fast, perhaps.
Right. Okay. It is the fastest, but the correct answer is that the cheetah does not have retractable claws. So as you know, most of the cats have retractable claws. That one, as fast as it is, doesn't have that as one of its attributes. Right, next question for you in the conservation section. Mana Pools is a popular park with World Heritage status. What is the name of the main headquarters in the park, sometimes known as the Warden's Office?
Wow. These are tough questions, man. These are tough questions. Just a wild guess. I will call it the Zambezi House.
I like a wild guess in conservation games. Now, I won't give you any points for that, Brian. Unfortunately, it is called Nyamepi.
What does that mean, Nyamepi?
I wish I could give you that answer. Unfortunately, I can't. Right. Brendan, we are going to move on to your conservation questions. Your favorite conservationist is Nigel Kuhn. Tell us a little bit more about him and what he's done.
Well, Nigel, I actually went to high school with Nigel at Falcon, and he works in anti-poaching in Chengeta Wildlife. and basically is just doing great work. So I follow them through social media over the years, and look, anyone who I know who's close to it is, it's just great to see them doing great things. So.
Okay, right. Let's move on then. Your favorite park is Mana Pools. Mana means four, and it refers to the four pools in Mana. How long is the long pool, which is the longest of the four of them, in kilometers?
Kilometers?
I'll give you to the closest kilometer.
Oh my word.
Nothing that you've had to swim, so.
125.
That is a lot. That is a lot, Brendan. 6 kilometers is the answer. So.
Sorry, you threw me off when you said nothing you've had to swim.
No points for you in that section. Your favorite animal is the African rhino.
Yeah.
What are two physical differences between the white and the black rhino?
The white rhino has a flat lip. The black rhino has a pointy lip, upper lip. And the white rhino is a lot bigger than the black rhino.
Absolutely. You will get 2 points for your response.
Yes.
So that will take you, Brendan, to 4 points. And Brian, you're on 2 at the end of the conservation questions. We're going to take a quick break. Viewers, please stay with us. We'll be back with you in just a moment.
Our wildlife needs help. Tourism to Africa is at an all-time low. You can assist by liking and sharing the conservation games. You can contribute financially by hitting the donate button on the Zambezia.com website. Let's get together and back up the frontline conservation team.
Welcome back to another exciting game of conservation games. We've got 2 Zimbabwean Olympians with us at the moment. In this lead, slightly by 2 points, is Brendan Ashby over Brian Dzingai. But we know that Brian was very, very quick in the track, and we're expecting that he'll be able to make up some ground in this last section of questions before we move on to the exciting, wacky, wild card section. Right, Brendan, it's going to be your turn to ask some questions to Brian first. Let's move on to section 3. You can ask your 2 questions from the 4 about your career.
Okay. Brian, what was my time in the Olympics 100-meter backstroke?
Whoa. 58.38.
No.
Not.
Did that with a lot of confidence, actually. I was checking the answer and I thought that's good confidence. It was 58.91.
Okay.
All right, so no points there for you. Let's move on, please, to his last question, Brendan.
Okay. I hold 2 Zim records in which races?
Do I get half a point for getting at least one of the answers?
You'll get 1 point if you get one of them right. Yes, I'll give you that.
All right. So the 100-meter backstroke, at least that one. And I'll probably say, since you're a backstroke guy, probably the 200-meter backstroke too.
I like that. I'll give you 1 point for the 200-meter backstroke.
Okay.
All right. Fair enough. You guys competed in the same Olympics, right?
Correct.
We did, yeah.
Buddies back then?
Yeah.
Hung out yet?
Yeah. All right. So, Brian, that takes you to 3 points. Brendan, you remain on 4. If we can do the vice versa, Brian, you ask him questions about your sporting career.
Okay. What was my best recorded time in the 200-meter dash?
20.17.
Close.
That is very close. I wish I could give you a point.
20.12.
Yeah.
Fine, I'm gonna have to give it to him. I'm gonna have to give it to him. Well done, Brendan.
He went 20.17 in the semi-final of the 200.
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah. Well done. Okay, so another 2 points for you, Brendan. That takes you to 6. And the last question, please, Brian, on your sporting career.
On the list of questions, right?
On the list of, yeah, you can't pull something out at the top of your head.
Okay. What senior school did I go to?
St. George's.
Oof, you feel like donating points, don't you? Right, so that's another correct answer for you, Brendan. Takes you to 8 points at the end of our questionnaire segments. Brian, you're on 3, and it takes us to what is the most exciting part of the event, of course. Brendan, don't shake your head. I'm looking forward to this. I've got 5 cards, gentlemen. It's time for the wacky, wild section of today's game. And Brian, you can go first. So this is card number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Take your pick, and whatever I've got, you're going to have to do for us in an animation.
Let's go with 3.
We'll go with card number 3. Interesting.
Oh,
Perfect.
Elephant ear, flap, and charge. I hope you've got lots of space.
I do. I can create space, actually. So.
All right, let's have a look at it then.
All right, give me 1 second.
Sure. I'm liking it already. Right, I like the ears. I like the ears, Brian.
And the pillows too?
I didn't have any sound effects. I didn't see a trunk. I'll give you 2 for that.
well done.
Right. Brendan, you got a choice from 4 cards now. Again, 1, 2, 3, and 4.
I think I'll go for 2.
You want to go for 2?
Yeah. Oh, no.
Here we go. It's the hippo, yawn, and grunt.
All right. Right. Can you see me there?
I can see you there. Okay. I'm caught in between here. I will give you. I'll give you a 3. I'll give you a 3.
Hey.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
You've just pipped Brian on that. But before we move on, guys, thank you very much for taking part in these games. I think the most important thing is not the victor, but what we are doing, of course, in terms of conservation and raising funds for conservation in the Zambezi region. I know people are very busy. Brian, you're up and early. And I just want to appreciate that from our side as the tech team. Before we go, you got some parting words, both of you, please, for conservation?
Yeah, I think, look, what Robin and Luke have come up with is a phenomenal concept and great to be part of it. I just hope everyone gets behind it. Let's raise a lot of awareness and funds. You know, it's really important, and be great for our kids to one day be able to see what they're doing and appreciate the wildlife that we've all grown up with.
Brian?
Yeah, listen, I think this is great. I certainly think that just getting this done is the first step in trying to help Luke and Robin achieve the goal of trying to conserve wildlife. Let's try and raise funds. Let's try and get people involved. And I certainly think that this is one of the steps that we need to take to preserve what we have as a country. And I'm certainly looking forward to bringing my kids home for the first time and enjoying what Zim has to offer.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot. The viewers, it's been good having you once again. Another wonderful game of conservation games. And today, Brendan winning over Brian by 11 points to 5. Please go onto the website, www.zambezia.com. Go and see the wonderful work that people are doing in conservation in the Zambezia region. There's options there for you to participate, to support if you so wish. But otherwise, it's been another wonderful game. Thanks a lot, guys, for taking up your time. And until next time, take care.
Cheers, Tino.
Cheers, Tino.
Cheers, Brian.